Hello and welcome to the eFresh.com Fish and Seafood News. Today is the 28th of October. My name is Kim and these are this week's headlines. Tuna quota cut devastating. Prawn prices to rise as EU cuts quotas. Fishermen free to harm marine protection areas. Fish netting licenses issued in Lahore. Immature fish should not be processed. A decision to cut Australia's southern bluefin tuna catch by 25% has left the industry shell-shocked and fearing immediate job losses. Chairman of Clean Seas Tuna, Hagen Stair, says the industry is outraged by the move, which would also impact other sectors of the economy. He said his company, based in Port Lincoln on the Eyre Peninsula, would need to cut jobs and other companies would follow. President of the Australian Tuna Association, Brian Jeffries, said cuts to the quota were needed, but not as high as 25%. He said that if you'd scripted it yourself, you couldn't have thought of a worse outcome in terms of equity and the future of the Australian industry. They were once hailed as a savior of the Scottish fishing fleet, strapped trawlermen with a multi-million-pound windfall. But the cost of West Coast langoustine is set to soar due to new European Union catch quotas that will put it out of the price range for thousands of ordinary families. European Union scientists want to place further restrictions on the number of days that fishermen can spend at sea. The proposal will hit the West Coast prawn fishermen the hardest. The industry is already reeling as it battles with soaring fuel prices and a weak pound, which have led to major drop in profits. John Harmon, Development Director for Industry Authority Seafish, said the weak pound was also making the cost of importing fish more expensive. According to him, the future looks increasingly bleak. Legislation to designate marine reserves around the coast of Britain is likely to contain a loophole that will allow fishermen to damage the fragile areas of seabeds without fear of fines. Conservationalists are warning that the Marine and Coastal Access Bill, which has its final reading in the House of Commons today, contains a clause that makes a mockery of calling the areas protected. Fishermen have defended the loophole, saying that it is necessary to protect them from being prosecuted for causing accidental damage under European environmental laws. Critics argue that science does not know enough about our seas to position the reserves and their right. But with an ocean facing pollution, coastal development, warming waters and overfishing, waiting for complete knowledge would result in there being little left to protect. Over 1,400 angling licenses for fish netting valid for 1 year have been issued by District Officer Fisheries Lahore alone. Director General Fisheries Punjab, Dr. Muhammad Ayub, told APP Thursday that all district officers' fisheries across the Punjab have been empowered to issue licenses for the province after a deposit of the annual fee of only 300 rupees. He said all these licenses were valid from September 1st to May 31st, from dawn to dusk. Every license holder can use a maximum set of 2 rod and line and could catch as much fish as possible. The DG said deputy directors had also been instructed to conduct surprise raids in their respective areas, especially in the river or lake areas. Fishing and processing of immature fish must be controlled to save fish from extinction, a fish exporter has advised. Sujal Goswami, the general manager of Alpha Group, also appealed to the government to put stringent measures against fishermen and processors against irresponsible fishing methods. Alpha Group owns the Uganda Fish Packers, one of the fish processing and export firms. Goswami explained that fish processors had done a lot in stopping the vice, but urged the government to do its part. He appealed to the government to come to their rescue regarding power fluctuations which damaged their machines. Uganda Fish Packers process between 25 and 35 tons of fish daily. Thank you for watching the eFresh.com Fish and Seafood News. See you next time.